What's going on engaging with your government family? How is everyone out there doing? I hope you are having a wonderful day. Before we get started with today's video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, hit that post notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a video. Today, we'll be talking about what's going on in the state of Texas. I will not be giving my opinion. However, if you have an opinion on this, whether you agree or disagree with what's going on in Texas, please make sure that you comment it down below. And also, please be respectful. People might feel a different way than you do about this, and then that's okay. Everyone has different beliefs, different views. That what makes this country so great. So once again, please be respectful down in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's get started. So, let's talk about the redistricting efforts in Texas. Next year will be the midterm elections. The midterm elections take place 2 years after and 2 years before the presidential election. This is where we vote for people like our governors and our members of Congress, like the House and the Senate. Every single seat in the House, U.S. House, is up for grabs, and some seats in the Senate are up for grabs. Right now, it seems like Republicans won't keep control of the U.S. House of Representatives, so they are looking to redraw maps in Texas and add potentially 5 more seats. Redistricting is supposed to take place every 10 years in a thing that's called the census. The Democrats are tired of being outplayed, frankly, and some have threatened to redraw their maps in their states as well, such as New York and California, especially California. Gavin Newsom claims he wants all the smoke. The Constitution lays out the general order of how members of Congress are divided among the states. The Constitution lays out the general order of how members of Congress are divided among the states. Okay, I repeated myself, but once again, that's very important for you to know. The basic outline is this. There is a national census every 10 years to establish the number of residents in each state. House districts are then appropriated to the states based on each state's population. As states grow, they can gain seats, but if their population goes down, then they can lose seats. The Constitution leaves it to states to determine who exactly the members of Congress will represent, and states with more than one U.S. representative, because not all states, like for example, Alaska, Wyoming, they have a thing called at large, and that at large is one person because they don't have enough citizens um, to have more than one member in the U.S. House of Representatives. Also, I want to note that Trump wants to end birthright citizenship, and that's one way to address undocumented immigrants because Republicans want undocumented immigrants. To not be in the census. He tried this in 2020, however, it did not work out. So you let me know how you feel down below about undocumented immigrants being in the census. So let's talk about gerrymandering. What is gerrymandering? Because a lot of people claim that what is happening in Texas right now is gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is the drawing of political maps for partisan gains. Republicans and Democrats both do it. But Republicans have been more open lately to embrace this process in practice. It's the equivalent of politicians picking their voters instead of the other way around. So you're supposed to elect your politicians, but with gerrymandering, the politicians get to pick who picks them. You get what I'm saying? So that's why here in Ohio we tried to do issue one last year, which was to end gerrymandering. And what that would have done is instead of having the politicians to draw maps, then the people would have had to draw the maps. So that's something that Ohio tried to do to quote unquote stop gerrymandering. But it's for partisan gains. So say you're a member of the Democratic Party and you're the governor and you want more seats. You get to do the map. Of course you're gonna say that and you're gonna go and you're gonna try to make it more easier for your party to get more seats. Or if you're a Republican, it's the exact same thing. You're gonna try to do the same thing. But I want to give you an example of a Republicans who are gerrymandered. So North Carolina leans towards the right in presidential elections, but thanks to gerrymandering, 10 of its 14 congressional seats are held by Republicans. Democrats have done the same in multiple states they control. Illinois, but we'll get to Illinois in a second. Next question. Is it legal for Texas to do this? States are largely in charge of the process of drawing maps for the districts they are appointing. It's unusual, but not unprecedented, to redraw these maps in the middle of the decade. Texas did it previously in 2003. Mid decade redistricting is prohibited by state laws in some places, but not in Texas. Can the federal government is this legally under the federal government? Sure, it is. The conservative majority on the Supreme Court took away federal courts' power to review politically gerrymandered districts in a 2019 case. Do Democrats gerrymander also? Where they can, they do. So, yes. In Illinois, former Vice President Kamala Harris only received 54% of the vote, but Democrats, thanks to gerrymandering, won 14 of the 17 congressional seats. But Democrats have handed away their powers to gerrymander in states like California, where a nonpartisan commission draws congressional maps. In red states with such commissions, they have frequently been overturned by state lawmakers, such as in Utah, where a Democratic seat focused on Salt Lake City was carved up among Republican seats. So why is this happening? Well, it's because the White House asked it to. Usually during the midterm election, the presidential party who is currently in control usually lose some seats, and they usually do real terrible. Obama received a schmalacking, as he likes to call it. Um, so President Trump asked Texas to redraw its maps, and Texas Governor Greg Abbott simply complied by adding an agenda item about redistricting to a planned special session for the legislature. So are the Texas Democrats doing anything to stop this? Yes, Texas Democrats fled the state. They are in Illinois, from what I know, and sooner rather than later they're going to return back to the state of Texas, but for now they're in Illinois, and they're waiting to go back till after the end of the first special legislative session. So that's just a little about what's currently going on in Texas. To summarize what's happening in short form, basically Texas is redrawing their maps 5 years early. You're supposed to do it every 10 years. It's a part of the census. Once the census data comes back, then you redraw your maps according to the population. Where they're trying to do that 5 years early. Why are they doing it 5 years early? Number one, because the president of the United States asked the governor, would he do it? The governor obliged, and they said yes. In protest to this, not only have Texas Democrats fled the states, but you have Democrats in other states, such as California, and not only in California, but in New York as well, who are saying, hey, two can play that game. Also, and once again, why are they doing this? Not only because the president asked Greg Abbott to do this, but Republicans want to keep control of the U.S. House of Representatives. And it's notorious that the president of the United States does horrible. The sitting party with the sitting president does horrible in the midterm elections. And Trump's presidency will essentially be dead in the water if they do not keep the House of Representatives. So that's why they are doing this. And is it legal? Yes, technically, in the state of Texas, what this is legal. They have done it before. Yes, it's unprecedented, but no, it's not unusual. This has happened before in the state of Texas. So once again, you let me know how you feel down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're for this, if you're against this, if you're have mixed feelings, but please let me know. Alrighty, y'all. Until next time, be good people. Stevie Connor out. Peace.